Hello everybody, and welcome back to my walkthrough of Bloodborne. Today's episode number 5, we're going to be covering pretty much a secret area, or a late game area that we're going to be accessing early, and then we're going to be fighting the 4th boss of the game, at least in this playthrough, Vicar Amelia. So again, if you're following my route, you should have a good amount of Twin Bloodstone shards now to be able to get up to level 4. Quick little side note too, anytime you fortify a weapon, you don't need to repair it because it auto repairs the weapon. And then in the last area too, one of the very last things we picked up was another gemstone, which actually will give us a 7.3% damage boost, and then another 2.7 if we're at full HP. So that's pretty good, just more damage. So in this next area, in the last episode, we talked about the body snatchers, and if they kill you, you get transported to a new area. So that's basically what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be intentionally dying to this next enemy. So we just want to make sure that we spend all of our blood echoes here. We don't want to be losing too many of them. We will not be able to retrieve them. So I'm probably just going to dump this into my strength, get more damage.
Farewell, good mate.
And then with whatever you have left, I highly recommend you come over here and you just buy whatever you want. I'm probably going to buy more fire paper and maybe some more bullets. There you go. Now we only have 26 left. That's perfect because again, once we die to this next enemy, we won't be able to get our blood echoes back. So you're going to want to go back to Cathedral Ward. Alright, once we get back to Cathedral Ward, in the last episode, if you remember, we went into that alleyway and we knocked on the door, we talked to Arianna. This is her. So I usually speak to her right off the bat, so there's two little kind of secret items, or not secret, but like kind of rare items that you only get once per playthrough. You get Arianna's blood vial, and then you can get Yosefka's blood vial. Yosefka's, there's actually two ways to get it, so I usually get Arianna's first, right here, just by talking to her. Gives you an emote, and then also if you receive the blood treatment, she's going to give you the blood of Arianna. So again, blood of Yosefka we can get a little bit later. Again, this isn't like a super important item, it's just a cool little, I guess, side item that you can have. You put it in your quick use item slot, and then basically this one here gives you a temporary boost to stamina recovery speed on top of being a heal. So again, it's like a blood vial with a extra little bonus. So for the next area, like I said, we're going to walk through here. Make sure you kill the other two enemies that are over here. We don't want to be dying to these guys. We just want the body snatcher to be killing us. So he's over here in this corner. Once he starts walking towards us, we'll let him take a few steps. He's guarding a madman's knowledge, which isn't super valuable, but I guess, okay. Should be able to just dodge by him or sprint by him to go get that item. And now we just want to die to him. As you can see, look how much damage he just did from one hit. And that's not even his like enraged state. Again, once he gets like half HP or so, he does even more damage. So, once you die to him, you will be transported to a new area. The first time that this ever happened to me, I didn't know that this was a thing, and I was so fucking scared. So basically, you die, you get the loading screen, and you expect to spawn back in Cathedral Ward. But instead, after the loading screen, I got this cutscene. And I won't play the whole cutscene, but after the cutscene, I was super confused. I don't know what the fuck I did. I even messaged my buddy who got me into this game. I was like, am I supposed to be here? Did I just break the game? And he laughed. And anyways, so again, this is a late game area. But the benefit to accessing it early is obviously we get a few mid or late game items. And also we can farm up some pretty good blood echoes from here. So the first thing we want to go is go down these stairs. As you can see, there's somebody down here speaking to us. We want to get our free blood echoes first. And this NPC here, if you speak to her wearing any piece of clothing, she will not speak to you. So we have to equip the black church set. So the hat, the garb, the long gloves, and the black church trousers. And now when we speak to her, we have 3 dialogue trees that we need to exhaust. Another one here. And we tell her of the chapel.
I pray for six kind.
And I think that was the last piece of dialogue we needed to exhaust, yeah. So after we've done that, when we go back to Cathedral Ward, she's going to be in the church. So now we can equip our attire back. I don't know if I mentioned attire. I think I might have briefly mentioned it. But the kind of stat bonuses you get, like the protection bonuses and stuff like that, are kind of negligible. Like we're talking very small percentages here. So you could theoretically play through the whole game in like the doll set, for example, and not be at like a super big disadvantage. So, you know, attire, kind of take it with a grain of salt. This area here, you actually, before we progress, you want to make sure if you have any left, Molotov cocktails and pebbles are going to come in very handy in this next area. So our cocktails, we want to equip them because we have 2 scurrying beasts. There's one at the top of this staircase here. Just throw a Molotov. Should die. We get twin bloodstone shards. When you get to this staircase here, just keep sprinting all the way to the top, all the way over here. We want to light this lantern, because if we die, there's 2 body snatchers on top of here, by the way. So one here and then one all the way down there. So if we die to these guys, we'll at least get teleported back to this lantern. So obviously you can fight these guys normally, but there is a little cheese that you can do. Oh, there you go. There's a little cheese that you can do with these guys. And basically, I'm going to try to get this guy to come fight us. Actually, I'm going to aggro him, just so that he doesn't slow walk towards us. There you go. And once you get right over here in the staircase, as you can see, his character model cannot squeeze through. So no matter how much he runs, no matter what attack he does, no matter what he does, he will not be able to come attack you. Be careful, you can still be hit. So any of these attacks, especially when he's enraged like this, you're probably going to die. That bag attack, you will 100% die from that. So just that same one, anytime he hits you with the bag, you're fucking dead. So anyways, just be careful. When he's running like this, you should be fairly safe to... Oh, maybe not. Again, I kind of just wait for him to... Jesus, man. Cycle through his attacks. When he starts running, you do a charge attack, and then you kind of just wait it out until he starts running again. Just to be safe. Again, if you get hit, you probably will die. Another attack. Another attack. Are you done? Alright. Of course I missed, for fuck's sakes. Now we're gonna have to wait for another cycle. There you go. So if you've been struggling with these guys, you can definitely do that to both of these guys. Right in the middle, there is the moon rune, which once we are able to equip it, is going to basically passively give us more blood echoes from killing enemies, which is really, really good. This pillar, you want to go to the right side. There's an enemy over here. If you walk through the middle, she's going to jump scare you and do a grab attack, and it does a really good chunk of damage. Piggy down here. Wait for him to yell. Once he starts sprinting at us, we want to hide behind this fence, just to make sure we can't get hit. I probably could have did a charge attack there, but I'm a little silly. I guess we can just keep hitting for free. I really thought he was going to go for an attack there. There you go. Real quick over here on top of these stairs. Again, when we come back to this area later on in the game, any items that we pick up and any shortcuts that we open, all of that stuff will remain the same. So, you know, basically I'm picking up all the items now so we don't have to do it later. This area later on in the game is very annoying, probably one of the worst areas in the game. So again, opening up all of these shortcuts and picking up all of these items now just makes that trip a little bit easier later on. Make sure you have your Molotov, because there's another scurrying beast over here. This one is very tanky. See, the Molotov only did half, and then we can kind of just swing on him, I think 6 times, for him to finally drop the shards. A little bit further up the staircase, we have another doorway. So again, the shortcut, once we come back here later on in the game, it's going to be very useful to have the shortcut already opened up. Just go down here. So I think we have one more piggy, and then a bunch of dogs. Piggy. Oh, I couldn't check for worms. I don't like being in here with the pig. Kind of scary, I can't see anything. And over here we have bolt paper, which I think is the first time we pick up bolt paper. So bolt paper is essentially like fire paper. You put it in your quick use item slot, and instead of applying fire to your weapon, it applies bolt or electricity damage. Basically, a little bit later in the game, we'll be encountering enemies called Great Ones or Kin, and those are basically almost like aliens or like eldritch creatures, and they take more damage from lightning, whereas in everything else in the game, like humans, dogs, beasts, all of that kind of stuff, take more damage from fire. So again, all of these dogs here, I'm not trying to fight all of them at once, so as much as we can, we're going to use our pebbles to kind of get them to come fight us. Not trying to fight all of these dogs at the same time. Alright, another 2 over here. Let's see if we can get this one. Yeah, come on, buddy. Perfect. Alright, another one on the left, and then there's another 2 on the right, kind of behind those statues. So again, we want this guy. And then the 2 other ones on the right. Beautiful. Now we just have 2 more dogs and a body snatcher. So these 2 dogs here, again, if you have any pebbles left, hopefully you do, or even throwing knives. The throwing knives are actually better, because with the pebble, I have to get pretty close, like all the way up to here. With the throwing knives, you can be like as far back as here. As long as you're locked on, you'll be able to hit them with it, which is, again, arguably a little bit better. But again, just trying to crowd control a little bit. I'm not trying to fight all of these enemies at once. This dog, because of the angle, you actually need to get a little bit closer with the pebble. And you can see I can get pretty close without anybody aggroing onto me, as long as we're slow walking. Again, once the dog starts walking towards us, we're good to back out. And now we just have the body snatcher, and again, we can do a sneak attack. Basically do our famous little combo. Oh shit, never mind, I fucked it up. Let's see if he, okay, that's good. We should still be able to get it here. I definitely messed that up. I should have gotten the charge attack at first. But we still got him, we're good. Pick up his shards. This item over here is the Tonitrus. It is a right-hand weapon. That one is like a mace. And when you press the L1 to transform it, instead of transforming into an extended version or a two-handed version or anything like that, it basically imbues the weapon or applies bolt to it. So it, again, just the weapon passively has electric damage to it, so you don't have to use bolt paper, which is really cool. I haven't really, you know, it's not one of my favorite weapons, but it's kind of cool. Over here, one of the fan favorite sets. It's one of the cooler looking sets in the game. Again, if you're like the, you know, the stat bonuses from the armors aren't really that noticeable. So by all means, if you think that set looks cool, you can equip it. I'm probably honestly going to play through the entire of the playthrough with just this set right here, because again, it doesn't super matter. Top of the stairs, we have one more quick item. It is the Frenzied Cold Blood, a level 8, which again is free blood echoes. And then we go back on top of the stairs where we fought the first pig. And now this is pretty much right where we started. This is where we fought the two body snatchers at the start, the lanterns all the way on top there. So by all means at this point, if you want to go back and level up, you can, because we have a lot of blood echoes, but just know that if you come back, you're going to have to kill those two body snatchers again before you tackle this next area. This is the last little area that we need to tackle in this area here. This spot is kind of annoying because we have two dogs and a body snatcher, so we don't really have a choice. We have to pretty much get the dogs to aggro onto us at the same time, and then get them to kind of follow us all the way over here. If not, maybe we could. That is beautiful. Alright, ideally you want to do that, so you don't have to deal with the dogs at all. And then this body snatcher, unfortunately, I know it might seem really annoying, but I want him to get a little bit closer. I ideally want to fight him over here. The main reason I want to do that is because there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of pillars and a lot of just geometry in the way here that you can get stuck on. And again, these guys hit so damn hard that you're not, you really don't want to take any chances. So just let him get as close as you possibly can. Again, you kind of want to fight him in an open area. This one, by all means, if you want to aggro, get him to basically enrage, turn red, and then drag him all the way back over here to that cheese spot in the staircase, you're more than welcome to do that as well. But I'm probably just going to try my hand at just going at this guy normally. Holy shit, man. It's kind of crazy how much damage they do. There you go. Should be good. Perfect. And now we just have, I think, 4 more enemies left, and then we're done with this area. Sadly, 2 of the 4 enemies that we have to kill are body snatchers. But there is another little kind of cheese spot down here that we can use and abuse. So we go down here. Pick up the twin bloodstone shards. As soon as we open this door here, there's going to be 2 enemies that are going to run at us. Get this 1, 2, 3, dodge away. 1, 2, 3. All of these enemies on the ground here, they are alive. They're just sleeping. So we will wake them up. Do that. Quick silver was see the 2 body snatchers are in this room, and sadly we can't do our combo on them just yet because they're so close to each other. We can't really sneak up on them. So again, it's going to take a little bit more time than I'd like, but we're basically going to have to kind of, you know, herd them and only fight one of them at a time. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just do the pebble. Try to get them to follow us. Again, no matter what you do, if you try to sneak attack one of these 2 guys, they're so close to each other that they both end up aggroing onto you. So again, the safe thing is definitely to either use a pebble, a throwing knife, whatever you can to try to drag one away. And I guess I will show the strat or the cheese on this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for this to be done. Go in, get him a few times so that he gets angry at us. I'm not trying to get him to do a slow walk all the way over here. I'd like him to, there you go, run a little bit. You want to go to this doorway over here. Go up these stairs. Hello? I'm scared. Okay, we're good. Obviously you can see that he can hit you through these walls, so holy fuck, so just be careful. When you get through this doorway here, you should be safe. Again, this is another cheese spot. As you can see, his character model cannot squeeze through this doorway no matter how hard he tries. So again, same rules apply as the other one. Just make sure you're safe and that he's not in the middle of doing an attack. And then just basically from safety of here, you can just swing on him for free. Jeez, he's just going through it today. All of the attacks. Boom. Another one. Another one. Come on, buddy. Keep doing it. Alright. Now we only have 1 left. So again, if you're struggling with these 2 down here, there's another little cheese spot. Again, it takes more time, but it is way more safe. But this guy here, you should be able to get our little combo. Do a sneak attack. I messed up the visceral, but it's fine, because he always does that animation. Arguably that's faster. Over here, you can go into this cave, but I recommend not, because once you drop down, you're going to drop down a kind of a little platform. You can come back up, and on the other side of that cave is a boss fight. We will be fighting that boss just a little bit later. That boss is a lot easier later on in the game. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's it for this area. As you can see, we started off with 0 blood echoes, and now we're up to 25,000. So when we started the level, we started down here, essentially in the basement, and then we worked our way all the way to the top. We cleared the whole top, and then we went to this level here. So yeah, like I said, that's pretty much it. We got all of the items, we got all of our blood echoes. So now we're going to go back to the dream, and we're going to level up our weapon, we're going to level up our character, and then we're going to go fight Vicar Amelia. Another thing that I don't think I've been using them, so again, actually here, let's do this first. Fortify weapon, saw cleaver, we can get it up to level 5. We're only missing 4 twin shards to get this up to level 6, which will open up that last, you see on the right hand side, there's like that 3rd slot is now glowing. It's basically indicating us that if we level up our weapon one more time, we'll be able to use that slot. So we'll actually be able to use our blood gemstone, or our tier gemstone that we got from the doll in the last episode. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for that. Again, since we fortified, it auto repaired our weapons, so we don't have to repair. And now, before leveling up, I don't know if you've noticed, but I just realized when I was kind of prepping for this episode that I haven't really been using any of these items. So if you have, by all means, it's great. You've probably been able to level up maybe one more time than I have or whatever. But I guess the advantage of me not using these is that now we can essentially power level right before Vicar Amelia. By the time we're done consuming all these, we'll have close to, I think, 60,000. Kind of a ridiculous amount to have. And again, the area I just cleared. It takes a lot, it takes a long time because it's a rather difficult area. But you saw how many blood echoes I got just from clearing that area. So by all means, if you want to, usually, if I'm not mistaken, killing the 2 body snatchers and then killing the 2 pigs, if I'm not mistaken, gives you about 10,000 blood echoes just from doing that. So you can kind of just loop that over and over and over again and just get a good amount of blood echoes early on. But anyways, now we have all this to play with. And for the next boss, so real quick, I'll talk about, because again, I'm really bad at this, my first time doing a walkthrough, so I just want to make sure that I emphasize this, and I think I did in the previous episode, but very briefly, there is soft caps to all of our levels. Basically, for me personally, I never get my endurance higher than 20, because to me it seems redundant after that point, and I usually like to equip a rune that we're going to get a little bit later that's going to give us more max stamina. So once my stamina is at 20, I don't level it up anymore. My vitality, I'll usually get it to about 25, which is the soft cap if I'm not mistaken, and then I don't really touch it after that. My strength, I usually try to get it up a little bit higher, like around the 30s. Skill, again, try to get it to about 20, 25, and then whatever is left by the end of the playthrough, if we've reached all of those numbers, I'll then start dumping the rest into Blood Tinge. So again, right now, for Vicar Amelia, we're going to abuse the fact that she's very weak to limb damage, and also we're going to need a good amount of stamina to kind of keep chaining attacks without running out of stamina. So I'm going to actually hit my cap of 20 right now, maybe do one more vitality, and then the rest we're actually going to go into just straight up damage. Does this go? Oh yeah, that's pretty good. So we're almost doing 200 damage per swing now with our right hand weapon. And again, now that I've hit 20 stamina, I'm not going to be leveling up stamina anymore. So yeah, we're pretty good. At this point, for the next boss fight, kind of like the Bloodstarved Beast, we're going to be kind of abusing beast blood pellets and fire paper. No pungent cocktails for this one. I think it does work on Vicar Amelia because she's technically a beast, so it will work to kind of mess with her AI. But once you see how much damage we're doing, we don't really need that. So anyways, now we're ready to go fight Vicar Amelia. So we want to go to Cathedral Ward. Also, I really apologize if you guys hear that in the back. I just noticed that I think either one of my neighbors or someone in the neighborhood is like either cutting the grass or trimming some bushes or something. I don't know, man, but I really hope that's not super loud. So from Cathedral Ward, we're just going to do a straight run all the way to the boss fight. Sadly, this is the closest checkpoint or the closest lantern to the boss fight. Let's see if this guy points at us. He always points. Summoning Stone, by the way, here, a little summoning circle. If you're struggling with that boss, you can summon an NPC to come help you out. I will try to point those out to you guys whenever they are available before a boss, but just know that it comes with the caveat of if you summon in an NPC to help you, the boss will have more HP. So just know that. I definitely don't recommend, using these summons. Don't try to rely on, people helping you out. Play through the game yourself. So when you get to the top of the stairs, this is the boss arena. Once we hit, if you see these kind of like square tiles on the floor on the side there, once we hit that second set, it's going to start the boss fight. It's going to initiate a cutscene. So usually right before I get to the square, I use my beast blood pellets, switch over to the fire paper, and then when I come out of the cutscene, I will use my fire paper. And now we just want to do R1, L1, L1 on all of our limbs. Hit their legs. Hit the other legs. Now we can do one attack on her head. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. So basically just by breaking all of her separate limbs over and over again, she just keeps staggering and basically can't even get an attack in on us. So it's kind of cheap. So the gold pendant that she drops, go straight into your inventory, use it. It's going to give us a gold blood gem, which is kind of cool. I've never really used it because you have to keep track of which gems you have equipped, and I have a very small brain and I can't do that. But basically this one here makes it so that you do more damage, attack versus beast, up 13%. So anytime you fight any sort of beast, you'll be doing 13% more damage. Again, kind of useful. I've never personally used it because I'm very bad at keeping track of, changing my blood gems in and out. So the last thing we need to do before we end this episode, after you kill Vicar Amelia, you can interact with this. It's going to give you a cutscene, and this basically kickstarts the next chapter of Bloodborne. So congratulations, you've pretty much just completed the first act of Bloodborne. There you go. So now there's a few things that we can do in the next episode. I'm just going to say, what are we doing? I think next episode we're actually going to do Hemwick. So another little kind of side area. And I say it's a side area, but I highly recommend you do it because at the end of the next area, once you kill the boss, we will get access to the rune hunter tool, which is going to go into the hub, and we're going to be able to equip some of those runes that we've been picking up. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and hopefully I see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, guys.